Jason Zicker. All right, so when we call that one up, you can just come up to the table. Yeah, whichever one wants to come up. Hi.
So I went to the closed session.
You got the same thing.
Yeah, because my neighbors don't want to pick them up.
Of course
They
not.
pick them up, but-
Thank you. What I do? Oh, no, you used mine downstairs. Zach's gonna dig for one.
Gotta have something in this whole.
Remember to pack an extra one next time. I have to go so far.
Maybe when I dump my bag.
I have to go so far.
And why has everybody got tape on theirs but mine? I feel like I'm supposed to now that I don't have any tape on it.
What did he
I couldn't
say?
even hear.
What'd you say, George?
All right, you good, George? All righty, it's 7 o'clock. It's a little after 7, so let's get this started. Want to welcome everyone to the May ZBA meeting. Noreen, would you like to do roll call, please?
Kevin Scully. Present. Chip Postiglione.
Here.
Steve Thaw.
Here.
John Seeley.
Here.
Zach Murphy.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. Please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to And just make note of the fire exits behind you, 2 doors behind you, and either side of the desks up here. All right, first up, public hearing, Home Depot.
Good, how's it going?
I'd like to go ahead and make a public hearing.
Second that?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, Steve. How you doing tonight?
Good.
So, last meeting, we had a lot going on with this case. Trying to juggle the two boards and not getting each other's way.
Yeah, and what we learned was that the planning board had declared the matter to be an unlisted action and had not declared itself lead agency for a coordinated review, but instead decided to conduct an uncoordinated review, which means that both boards independently do an environmental review and have to comply with their SECRA responsibilities. I've prepared some SECRA documents for you all. There's an EAF, the procedure, since we're usually not dealing with SECRA, but so you know, the procedure is the applicant provides an EAF, it's an environmental assessment form, part 1, that lays out the potential areas of concern. It's up to the board to then fill out and approve an EAF part 2, which is the tool that guides you as to whether there'll be any environmental significance, any significant environmental impact. And you answer a series of questions on that EAF part 2, and if those questions line up that there would be no or negligible environmental impact, then there's a part 3 that is essentially a negative declaration. And once there's a negative declaration under SECRA, then the board can act. It can vote on the application, but it has to be done in that order. You You can't vote on the application before completing the secret process, so.
So sorry, George. So the first step, the part two, you're talking these 11 questions.
Yes, that's right.
So, we've had Home Depot in front of us quite a few times, and this is good information to know to get the clarification of the lead group and whatnot. If the board, there's a couple ways we can handle this. I was just discussing with Dave that we could look at this right now and go through this and go through the steps. We could even, if everyone's on board, we could work through it and then even bring up, once we hear from the public at the time, we could put this to bed. Or if the board wants, we could take all this paperwork home, look at it, fill it all out, and then be prepared for next meeting. Any comments? Anyone? Bueller, anybody?
My recommendation would be, if you have the information that you need, unless there's, this is what I would recommend. I would, do any of you have any further questions about any environmental impacts or about the application itself? Generally, if anybody has any of those comments, the applicant's representative is here. You can talk to him and ask any questions about where we stand or get clarification on anything. Then I would open it up to the public, again, to see if the public has any input or comment. And then if you have everything you need, I would say it's probably ready to then close the public hearing and at the very least complete secret. Go through the EAF Part 2 and 3 and approve those and issue a neg deck, presumably, or if, I don't mean to get ahead of ourselves. And then once that's done, then you have a choice to either act on the application tonight or act on the application sometime in the next 62 days, including next meeting.
How about, is there anyone out there that has any comments or questions or concerns on this project? No, seeing nobody. I'm for, let's get through, because I don't think going through part 2 is going to take long at all. I don't think this is going to take that long.
No.
So I'm all for, let's get to part 2 and 3 and let's just roll with it and see how that goes, where it takes us. Is that good with you guys? All right.
So on the part 2, there's 11 questions that goes down, they go down the line in terms of all of the usual and customary on the short form potential environmental impacts of any project, right? That qualifies for a short EAF. I have filled it out to have each of the boxes on the 11 that it will have no impact or a small impact may occur, as opposed to a moderate to large impact may occur. If you all want to go down them, we could go through them one by one, or if you've looked over them, if everybody is comfortable with the answers being no on this, it's really a parking issue,
Yeah.
The number of parking spaces, reducing it from, by 26 spaces over
Right.
what's there now.
I agree with the assessment you made here, and it's not like we're doing this blind. Everything that's led up to these answers have been through the months of discussing this project, above board. So I think that small impact is correct there.
So if everybody's on board with the answers being no, then it lends itself to the part 3, which is a negative declaration saying that there will be check this box if you've determined based upon the information and analysis above, et cetera, that the proposed action will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts. I've completed that to have that box checked off, that there will not be any significant adverse environmental impacts. If everybody is in agreement on that, what I've also done, I've prepared a resolution that just embodies that. It tells the history of the where they were before the planning board, and it adopts and approves the EAF Part 2 and the EAF Part 3 and issues a negative declaration. If you guys are all ready on that, what you could do is entertain a motion to approve the resolution that's before each of you that adopts the EAF Part 2 and 3 and issues a negative deck.
I went through this earlier in Noreen's office. So going over it, I saw nothing that stood out. So I don't know if anyone had a chance, but I would like to go ahead and make a motion.
Actually, you know what? Let me get ahead of myself.
Go.
Let's close the public hearing first. If you guys are all good, you can close the public hearing.
Yeah.
Motion to close the public hearing? Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. So, all right, getting back on track, I'm going to make a motion to accept the
EAF Part 2 and 3
Part 2 and 3.
and issue a neg deck.
And to issue the neg deck.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 And then should we go ahead and, no, so we're good there then.
Yeah, so that completes SECRA.
Yep.
And now,
So if we're complete there, then if the board is comfortable, we could go over the 5 factors and continue to move forward. Yeah, good? Good? Zach, good?
Good.
All right. Dave, can
Yeah.
we do that?
yeah, it's as you all know, it's a balancing test, and there's 5 factors, and the first factor is whether the proposed variances would result in any detriment to nearby properties or adverse effect on the character of the neighborhood or community.
No, negative. No.
Next is whether is there any feasible alternative to achieve the benefits sought?
No. No.
Next is whether the variance sought is substantial.
No.
Next is whether there was any evidence presented that there was be an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions on the neighborhood or district.
No.
No.
Okay. And next is whether the alleged difficulty is self-created.
Yes.
Okay. So it sounds to me like you're lined up for a vote in favor of, and I think the conditions would be, I would condition it upon final review and approval by the planning board and any conditions that that board may impose, the payment of all due fees and expenses, and compliance with all their laws, rules, and regulations.
Yeah, and you already have.
I do. And then we'll take the vote afterward, me to prepare the resolution. And,
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve with the conditions that Dave just noted.
Second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to have the council draft resolutions.
And to authorize
Have the chairman to sign it.
And to authorize the chairman to
authorize-
sign
All
it.
right. I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All righty. Thanks, Dave, for doing all that work. Appreciate it. Any comments? Yep.
Appreciate
No.
all the review and everything.
No, we appreciate all, just being cooperative with us and coming up with the stuff that we asked for. And once we got clarification on lead agencies and all that, so good luck.
Thank you, appreciate it.
You got it, man. Hey, along, Donahue? Public hearing?
We had not opened it yet,
No,
right?
we have not
We had
opened it yet.
Right, we
Yeah.
renoticed it. Did all the mailings come in? Everything's good?
You got everything? We're good to go? Good.
So it's good to take a motion to open it.
Yep.
Make a motion to open a public hearing.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
So I see that everyone's got these. Right. So just to catch us up, when you were here last, I know it was a mess because procedure weren't followed. We had asked for,
Those green cards, and that was completed.
right, but did we ask for another survey?
No,
Did we ask for anything on this? I'm getting mixed up with the other one.
I think the mailings were the only issue.
Yeah, the mailing.
That was the only issue.
All
I
right.
think months ago you had asked for an update.
Yep, yep, that's what we
yeah.
have here, yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, you too, thanks. Yeah, this survey, did a nice job on this. You have any other, before we open it up to, if there's any public comments, you have any comments that you want to, anything that has happened since the last time we met?
no, absolutely, nothing's happened since the last time I gave you the updated survey that you wanted.
Right.
And that it was basically, kind of approved to move forward. And now it was just a sequence of the mailings and just getting that part of it correct with your procedures.
Anyone on the board have any questions? No? Zach, you're good?
Yep, I'm good.
All right, does anyone here have any comments, concerns, or anything they'd like to talk about with this project? Seeing nothing? That's good. I'm glad that there's no one coming up. But going forward on this type of thing, because we've had this in the past where just a little leery, just by us approving a variance, the applicants still have a work to do before they could be short-time rentals,
Yes.
right?
Right, I believe
They've
it's
got
good.
other
Town
boards.
town board approval would
Town
be
board,
sought.
Right.
Right. Yeah, the reason I was sent here in the first place, it was overlooked in the initial application process.
Right.
Okay.
So they went all the way to the final board meeting, and they realized that
Yeah,
this needed to be done. So this punts me back to.
right. And then
the
you'll still
position
have to,
I was, yes.
you'll still have to go in front of the town board.
Correct. Like, so I have to go to that. So they have to go to that next meeting again. and
Yep,
then
okay.
Push over to the finish.
Yep, no, I just wanted to make sure you're aware of that, so however we go with that, you still have to take it,
Yeah.
the other process, yep. All right, this applicant is given us, the pictures, the updated surveys. So if there's no public comment or no further comment from the board, which I'm seeing no comments, think I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to close the public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Kevin, was that you?
That was John.
Oh, yeah, it was a little act. I thought it was you.
We'll wait for that 1 or 2
Yeah,
seconds.
yeah.
If nobody says
Yep,
it, you
no.
say it.
All right, I don't see anything here to stop us from going to a vote this evening and moving further on with this. So if the board's on into it, let's go over the 5 factors.
Yeah, and if at any point as we go over them, I think there's 5 or 6 different variances. They're all for pre-existing
Right.
nonconformities, right? If anybody feels on any of the factors that, well, they feel one way for some of the variances or they feel a different way for another, just speak up.
Yep.
Otherwise, we'll just talk about them collectively, okay? So obviously, it's a balancing test, benefit to the applicant against any detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the community caused by the grant of the variances. The first of the 5 factors is whether there'd be an undesirable change in the character of the neighborhood or detriment to nearby properties because of the area variance. And the area variance, to be clear, there's the lot area, there's the rear yard, there's the side yards, and the width and the coverage, right? And the coverage is only because of primarily because of the street that goes through. So does anybody have any comments on that first factor?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, pre-existing.
Okay. Next is whether the benefits sought can be achieved by any other feasible method other than the granting of an area variance.
No.
No.
Next is whether it's the requested area variances are substantial.
No.
4 is whether there be an adverse effect or impact on the physical or environmental conditions.
No.
And last is whether it was self-created. Nope.
All right, with that being said, it's pretty cut and dry here. Like John just said, it's all pre-existing, so I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve the applicant for his variances.
And if I would, I would just add in the conditions, that the applicant shall not deviate from the survey that he provided. In other words, following the plans that he provided, payment of all due fees, and compliance with all other laws, rules, and regulations, those typical.
Yep.
Okay?
What council just said.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to have council create a resolution and for the chairman to sign.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate the
Thank you.
cooperation. Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Aye.
Good night.
Aye.
Here. I'll get you the resolution as soon as I have it from the attorney. Nope.
Okay, next up, Tuckerud. How you doing this evening? Good. Just when you speak into the mic, please.
Yep.
Same thing, we had a little mishap with the mailings. All right, this is a new public hearing, so I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to open up the public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, since there was that lapse in the meeting of last month, is there any update?
No,
Anything that's occurred?
Nothing has been changed since the survey, and you guys have a copy of the survey
Yes.
showing that some of the original things that Ben had written that I needed variances for, I don't. It's just the side setback and the combined total. But if
That's all
it's easier
pre-existing.
to write it as is, it's okay too.
So just to clarify, like my notes, which may be outdated, I'm not sure.
Yes.
I'm showing Unit 1, there's 2 units, and I'm showing Unit 1 that you need a side yard where you're providing 16.7 and 30 is required, and a rear yard providing 21.2 and 60 is required. And then, is that yet? No?
No, the application was for the side setback, which was 30, supposed to be, and I'm at 19.5 on the survey.
I'm sorry, I have that down as my Unit 2
Oh, I'm,
on mine, so maybe
Right. That is
maybe you and
unit,
I are flip-flopped?
no, it is unit 2.
okay.
Yeah.
And the other would be the combined setback was supposed to be 65, and I'm at 60.8.
Yes, that's exactly what I have, and I have that labeled as Unit 2.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And do you,
Okay,
do
yeah, I
you,
don't know how
ne-
that
do you
works.
still need one for the other? Is there?
No,
Unit 1.
The other ones were about lot coverage, and we saw that on the survey. I'm at 15%, so I didn't need the variance for that lot coverage.
There was something to do with
It was a confirmation.
butter on yours? I don't
I was just
recall.
reading the letter from Ben.
I brought a copy of the survey if anybody doesn't have it or wants to see it on here, where it clearly says lot coverage is 15%.
I did not have lot coverage as something that, I heard, I have down, we were going to be verifying the coverage,
I see.
but I have
okay.
Unit 1 needing 2 variances also. Did those go away somehow, or? Two is the one, I'm looking at it, Unit 2 is the one on the left. And I can see on the side yard, it's got the 19.5, and the total, right, that's fine. Unit 1,
Unit 1 is my neighbor's house, and I'm not asking for a variance for that. Does that make sense? It was originally, as you can see on the survey, it was divided that way in the 20s or something with the previous owners. So that's my neighbor's property, that's not
Unit 1
mine.
is not even, you don't even
No,
own Unit 1.
I don't own Unit 1, and I'm not asking for a
Okay,
variance for
okay.
Unit 1.
So let me see.
It was confusing, yes. Now I understand what you're saying when you're saying Unit 1.
Right, and this,
Looking
with
at
the,
to have Unit 1.
required, the 19.5, 35%, 60, so.
Okay,
And then that letter even says it
got it.
from there.
So it's just the one unit. The other side of, is it pronounced Osseo? Osseo?
Yes, the
The
other-
other side of the road, you don't even own. You're not
No.
asking for anything on that?
No,
Okay,
no,
got it. I don't know where that came from. I'm glad I asked, though.
thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Digital survey.
Yeah,
Is that what it was? Okay.
all righty. And when you do, yeah.
That's what it is. Now
When
I
you
see
look
it.
at it, right, the small survey.
The small survey
Yeah.
says Unit 2. It's got a column for
Yeah.
that. That's what I was looking
Yeah.
at. Okay.
And it does make it seem like it on that. All right, is there anyone in the public that has a comment or concern on this project? Please step forward. Seeing nobody? All right, with nobody coming up or no comments, and I don't think we have any more for the applicant, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to close this public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. if you're all good on the board here, I think we can go through, have Dave go through the 5 factors with us and move right along on this. Everyone cool with that? All righty.
Okay, so as everybody knows, it's a balancing test, and weighing the benefit to the applicant against the health and any detriment to the health, safety, and welfare of the community. First factor is whether there's an undesirable change that would be produced in the character of the neighborhood or any detriment to nearby properties.
No.
Next is whether the benefit could be achieved by some other feasible method other than the grant of an area variance.
No.
Next is whether it's substantial.
No.
Next is whether there'd be an adverse effect or impact on the environmental or physical conditions in the neighborhood or district.
No.
Nope.
And last is whether it's self-created.
No.
No.
Okay, so it sounds like it's lined up for a grant, and the conditions would be, the same as the prior one, which is, comply with the survey, payment of all due fees and expenses, and compliance with all other laws, rules, and regulations.
Yep, so I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve this applicant.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And to also follow the stipulations that council had just mentioned
That's conditions?
as conditions?
And I believe you already have conditional town board approval, correct?
Well, they have me coming back just because they hadn't officiated something with the lawyer about the whole agreement, nothing about my property.
Okay.
So I still will go back to one more
Still
meeting.
go?
Okay.
yeah.
Have to go.
You still
Yes,
have to go,
yes.
right?
And I was gonna just ask you, do you guys send the notification of my variance, or is it something that you give me and then I bring? Do you know how that works? Because I don't want to go to the town until I know.
I
they
don't know
have it.
because I've never had to send anything to the town board.
Okay,
But hey, I'll just send it to the town clerk when it's all done. As soon
okay.
as I get it signed from Dave and it's all signed, I'll make sure the board gets a copy as well as you.
Yeah, and then I'll go to the next meeting after, whatever that's gonna
Right.
be.
There's a town board meeting in the interim before you've gotten a written resolution from me. Just give them the verbal and call me, and I'll see if I can get something out the door in time, if I need to.
Yeah, I don't know what
But at
their
least they'll
schedule
know
is for next
it was
month.
voted on.
Yeah, I think it's June the 2nd, and I think Tony suggested that I come, but again, if we need to wait, then we need to wait. So somebody will just let me know.
All righty, I also like to make a motion to have council create a resolution for the chairman to sign.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good
Appreciate
night.
the cooperation.
Take care.
Good luck.
And the last one?
I did.
All righty, let's go on to some new projects. Next up, Michael Dye. Did I say that correctly? Excuse me? D? All right, great,
Oh, sorry, I told him it was Di.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that's it. I'm used to it.
great, great.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, just speak into pull that mic a little closer, get closer to that.
Hello? Okay. How are you? Good. I'm here for a variance for a short-term rental as well.
Got me now? Sorry. All right, sorry about that. So you're here for short-term rental?
That's correct.
So, package. Minimum lot width in the side yard, right? these pre-existing?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the survey that we're looking at here, when is this dated? January 9th, 2025? This is how the property sits today?
Yes.
So what, your dwelling there, what kind of house are we speaking of?
This is it's a small cottage, 3-bedroom, 1 bath.
Oh.
Bungalow, yeah.
See, I see shed there. There's no, no offsets on the shed? No distance to the yards on there? Am I missing it?
Excuse me.
See the shed?
I don't see any distances.
That shed, what is that, how big is that shed?
It's about like, I would say 10 by 6.
Speak into the mic, please.
I would say it's about like 10 by 6.
10 by 6, like a
Yeah.
wooden shed, metal shed?
Yeah.
Is it sitting on a concrete slab? Is it on a bit of a little foundation?
Yeah, there is a foundation underneath it.
Yeah. I think the surveyor should have pulled some distances to that, to the property line. Is this your first action? Have you been in front of the board and they sent you here, or this is
This is
right
my
off the
first
bat?
time. This is my first time.
Your first, okay.
You've not been in front of town board?
Never.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, I've said it a million times here, we try to remain consistent, right? As consistent as we can be with these projects. I think I would feel better if we saw some pictures of the home, even though we're probably, Zach, have you been out to this one?
Yeah, I went out to it.
So what's your take on it?
It's nice, for sure. It's just close to the neighbor. So that was what I was assuming the issue would have been here.
On the, the 12-7 side?
Yeah, both houses are pretty close to the property line.
Yeah, how close is that neighbor to that property line? Pretty close?
Yeah, I would say probably about equal distance.
Yeah.
I don't want to guarantee that, but it was pretty close.
Right.
Yeah.
You see the shed?
Yeah, the shed was nice.
Any comments from anyone else on the board? Any additional information you'd like to see?
I guess photos would be the only.
Yeah, photos. Shed's got to be, what, 5 feet off the property line?
Yeah, I think it's 5 feet. Yeah, Looks like it's pretty close.
Yeah, it looks like, because of what I think it's 40 scale map. Yeah.
Board with the,
All right, if there's no other comment, what I'd like to do is, just as Kevin has said, we're going to go ahead and move forward. There's no reason to bring you back for another meeting without moving a project forward. But so we're going to go ahead and set a public hearing for next month. When is that? June 20? All right, so let's set for next month, the 24th. But at that meeting, if you could supply us pictures before of the residents. What I'd also, I'm going to get up there, but I'd also like to see from you see where your deck is.
Mm-hmm.
If you could take pictures standing on your deck, shooting, you see where it says 12-7
Mm-hmm.
to that property line. Take pictures from that deck looking over to your neighbor for us.
Okay.
currently live there?
No, it's a second home.
It's a
Second home.
Okay, but is it being lived in?
No.
No, okay.
Alrighty, any other comments? Alrighty,
Second on your motion.
I'll second the motion.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Noreen.
So just the pictures, right? For next.
Yeah, just, give us pictures of the home. Some of us will get out there,
Okay.
and if, do we have permission if we could go onto your property?
I believe it was signed in the application.
Yeah, okay, great.
I'll get you a public hearing notice in your email, and it'll have a listing of who you have to send the letter out to, and that you have to do certified return receipt,
Okay.
which means that you'll get these green cards back after the residents sign. Okay? But if you have any questions, once you get that letter, give me a call before you send them.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
Thank
Any
you.
questions? You're good?
No, I'm good.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All righty, next up, Zickerman. How you doing? Sit close to the mics. Go ahead, state your name for the record.
Jacob Zicherman.
Excuse me?
Jacob Zicherman.
Mr. Weiss. Mr. Weiss. Another name, just call me to.
Back.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you look very,
Yes.
Nobody called me up. I have to finish my shed, but we're going to talk about that later. No, it's not done. Two or three Cromwell.
Cromwell Hill? I thought
Yeah.
we were finished on that.
If it's finished, it's better. No?
Cromwell Hill,
oh, you're all looking at me like I don't make the resolutions.
No, we started the process, and then I thought he didn't come back. He missed the meeting.
there were a bunch of missed meetings, but I think we finally,
Yeah, it was.
I will have to go
I
back.
think
and
it's
see
here.
it.
If you can check it out now.
Yeah, I'll
then
check it
we
out.
can-
I have to be downstairs for it.
Yes.
Name of the application again?
Weiss.
Weiss, I thought we approved Weiss.
Okay, and then it's approved, it's good.
Weren't we just talking about that in your office?
Not today. We talked about it a couple, like last month, I
Last
thought, but, because we were going through paperwork and went, I don't need this one anymore. Ooh, that's not, well, I have it.
All right, we'll
Okay.
look into it.
Yeah, I definitely look tomorrow.
Okay,
But
let's-
we're not here for you anyhow.
Huh?
We're
No, we're
not-
here for
yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Zuckerman.
Yeah. Just when everything was going smooth.
I know, really.
Yeah, you're right. That was last when we were sitting in there. I had all those piles.
Right. Got your backpack.
Yeah,
That's,
I have it,
210
that I
High
sent it
Street?
September
210 High Street,
24,
yeah.
210 High Street?
2024. I sent it
Yeah, I have
along.
here, public hearing closed, motion approved, variance granted.
it's approved?
Back in September.
Oh, I didn't know.
Number meeting.
Did you check your email? Because I usually send you the signed
No, they
resolutions.
told me, I sent over the pictures and I was calling in and nobody got back to
I'm
me.
always downstairs.
But it's
All right,
approved?
let me go in. I'll resend it to your email
All
tomorrow.
right, thank you so much.
September 24.
He was, got him right.
Oh,
Close on
thank you so much.
August.
I'm glad because I just out all those papers.
Well, I have everything downstairs,
Yeah.
but
Does that mean Mr. Weiss has to start over?
Just for the fun. Just for throwing a wrench in tonight.
yeah, really, we were doing so good.
It's good to
So
get a
just so
break
you know,
too.
having him next to you is not helping you.
Yeah, really.
Just telling you that right now.
I want to go away, for a few hours every day, but I thought my case is finished. I took another case, but if not, I'm gonna still come over
Okay.
every day.
So you're just here for moral support then?
Oh, I just told me it never was there. I say I'm happy to help and whatever.
Been here, he's a pro.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, so what can we do for you?
I'm applying for a variance for 10 Twin Lakes Road. I'm trying to do short-term rentals, and they told me, I gave an application for the short-term rental, and they told me that I have to get a variance for the lot frontage is only 25 foot, and it has to be 40 foot.
Interesting.
Yes.
It's physics, yes.
Curious, why is this written in red? I'm trying to,
The
Survey.
That little area where it's boxed
Right.
out.
the building inspector showed me to me what the the building inspector wrote it down to show me what the issue is. I couldn't understand
Oh,
it, so he
okay.
sent it to me, highlighted.
okay.
Yeah, it's like an odd, I looked at it online. It's like an odd little square structure that's looks like it's part of the original
Yes.
construction.
Yeah.
Or if
Yes.
not, it's been there a long
No,
time.
it's original.
Like just off the front. What's in there on the inside? It's just a room in there?
No,
It's a foyer from.
it's part of the kitchen. It's
That's the
part
Oh,
of
okay. It's an odd foyer.
but everything was built legally.
So this is on the road, this variance it's pre-existing on the road to short-term rental. Right? Is this a second home?
Yes.
Second home?
Yeah, we need it.
Yeah, so this survey is dated September 19th, 2022. Where? Yeah. Right, so what we would like to see is an updated survey with the surveyor's seal on it, his stamp. And what were you saying there, John? To have
Table for the lot coverage.
the lot coverage
Ben is asking us to
table
close.
calculated by your surveyor on the survey?
Okay, you know everything?
I don't have it, no.
Zach, did you get out to this one?
I have not gotten that. Know where it is, but I have not
Yeah, I
gotten
know
out to it.
where it is too. I get there. Do we also, Noreen, do we also have permission, or is there permission to go onto this property?
Yes.
Do we have your permission to go on this property?
Yes.
Sure, yes, sorry.
I mean, this is,
All right, so
When you're talking about the stamp from the surveyor, I have here the signature from the surveyor.
it has a signature, but if you tell your surveyor, it's an embossed seal.
Yeah.
He's got a seal with his license number and all that, so he'll know. So this way, it'll be an updated survey. He puts his seal on it and it's signed with the lot area coverage calculated, the chart on the survey.
Okay.
All righty, and also, can you get us pictures of that, what is that, red? That area that you got, that's bumped out, that you say is a foyer or a kitchen?
Sure.
What is it, a foyer or a kitchen?
it's a kitchen.
Kitchen?
Yes.
Yeah, can you take some pictures from, for us, to supply to the board for that?
Something that we can open for public hearing.
I think provided he gets us those documents first.
Yeah.
If that works out, then it's all pre-existing.
Yeah, well,
But you might be able to adjust the lot coverage. If the lot coverage is like, I understand what they're,
We can do that in a public hearing, can't we?
Okay.
I don't know.
There
I'm
might
just-
have to be adjustments to the lot
Okay.
coverage.
yeah, yeah, we could do it, but so, any other questions? No? So let's, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to set this up for a public hearing for June 24th? June 24th, providing you have an updated survey with the lot coverage, the area all calculated, and the photos.
Yes.
I don't know if your surveyor is going to be able, that's up to you, if your surveyor is going to be able to get that in time, but, keep communicating with Noreen on that, and if you do have it, then we can move forward. If you don't, we're just not going to be able to move forward.
And they seal.
Yes.
And it's a seal.
Yeah, because keep in mind that if the lot coverage is computed and then it turns out to be in excess, that's
Right.
going to be an additional variance, which is going to have to be noticed. So you don't want to do it twice.
Correct.
Okay.
Can we move, can we start the process application? And meanwhile, we bring the stamp or no? We have to come.
What's that?
The question is we can start to the short-term rent in the meantime.
Can you start a short-term rental?
No, start the application for short terms, the request.
The application?
Yes. In the meantime, because it's just a
I
waste
don't
of
know.
time.
Yeah,
Oh, I think on
I don't
Ben's
know
letter.
about that.
We'll
Really not
provide
up to
everything.
us.
Yeah,
It's not up to us. That's
No,
up
I
to
mean
them.
to say we can provide everything in meantime. We can move. Just a waste
I think it
of
says
time.
here, on the denial letter from the building inspector, it says the application will be paused.
because
Will be
of the-
paused and shall not be used as an STR. So I would say, I don't know if council would prefer, but I would say no.
so why don't you worry about getting us the stuff that we need here,
I'll get it for you.
okay? And, so I went ahead and made that motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, so you're clear on how to go forward on this?
Yes, deadline though, in order for me to get it published, I need all of this documents in my office no later than June 9th at noon.
June 9th.
I've extended it beyond the normal date, but after that, I won't be able to get it published.
Okay, basically the pictures and the stamp. That's all.
And the survey,
The survey.
whatever, the lot
That's the
coverage.
most important one.
Yeah,
Right,
the
yeah.
survey.
Survey is the most important one.
If we can just specify from which part we need the pictures, from which part on the survey, if you can,
And just the front, basically.
just the front
Yeah.
of the house.
Yeah, the front that you call the foyer kitchen,
Whatever.
Yeah,
yeah, like, we're gonna get out and look at it, but I also wanna see some photos of it.
Yes.
Sure.
You're gonna send it by mail, I guess, yes? By email. Do we have to bring the pictures or we can?
Everything
Yes.
needs to be brought into my office prior
Right.
to me doing the mailings.
The survey is the most important one, because if you wait till the last minute on that, and it shows that you're over the lot coverage, and now that impacts what is in the notice that's being sent. So don't come in with the survey if it's gonna show that it's over lot coverage at the last minute, because
Correct.
you're not gonna get it in.
Right, then I won't
100%.
make the deadline, because I have to get it in the paper a minimum of 10 days before the meeting.
Uh-huh.
So I need everything in order for me to process the paperwork.
All right,
Okay.
okay, sounds good. All right, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Back for you in... Yeah, I'll be in the office tomorrow. You're welcome.
The returning projects Rutledge. How you doing? Please sit close to the mic. That's it. State your names.
I'm Jewel Rutledge, 228 Sunset Terrace.
Okay.
Yep, hi guys. Romel Lasso, the contractor.
So Noreen, this expired? Did this,
Yes, his application expired, and he wanted an extension off of his application. Dave and I spoke about it today. I think Dave has a few things to tell you.
Yeah, I think last time you guys, last month, you were looking for an as-built, right? An as-built and some photos to ensure that it was
Yes.
as advertised. Did we get that? I see you've got something there, but I didn't see anything.
I did not
I
see.
have seen nothing.
So,
Yes, so to answer the question, we have it, but I also have the receipt to
Yeah,
show.
so I believe it was April 23rd, we dropped off 4 copies of each, as you requested. Remember I had called you up and you said you couldn't come up, so to leave it with the front desk. That was the town accountant, I guess. I don't know if you guys want to look at this.
That's just to show that we dropped it off, but we have the copies with us.
Hey, just speak into the mic, will you?
The receipt is just to show, that we dropped it off, but we still have the copies that you requested.
I've seen nothing.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I had called you up and I asked you if you could come up so I
Oh,
can.
yeah, I
come
was
see-
sick that day. I was staying away from
Oh, okay.
residents.
But then, yeah, it was left up at the top and you said you were gonna get it.
All right, I will verify if they're downstairs.
okay. Either way, procedurally, if you remember last month, I was struggling with this procedurally, right? Because it's unusual. The way your code is written compared to other municipalities. Every other municipality that I've advised, if a variance has expired, the only way to revive it is for the applicant to come in, and it's pretty onerous, to come in and file a brand-new application and then have a whole new hearing and pay all the fees that are related to that. Just about every other municipality treats it that way once it's expired. It's different if he comes in and asks for the extension before it's expired. He sees these, the deadline's coming up,
Right.
and I want an extension. That's completely different. And that, if that happens, you don't need a public hearing. You can just come in and say, we're going to grant you the extension. It's just an amendment, right?
Yep.
Your code's weird, right? It's strange in this respect, where it helps the applicant, but it doesn't help them all the way. So what it says is that once it's expired after the 2 years, it's good for the applicant because it doesn't require a brand-new application and the payment of all those fees and replenishment of escrow and all that stuff up front. But what it says is that once it's expired, actually before or after it's expired, it says the procedure is that the applicant has to seek a rehearing, okay, for the purpose of getting an extension. So it's sort of a hybrid. It's two.
Right.
It's mixing and matching a couple different like legal principles, but so I think what we have to do, I bounced back and forth last time. I played ping pong with myself on this issue, but I looked at it. I talked to Noreen today. I talked to Kevin Page today, who's got this matter in the Justice Court with Mr. Rutledge. I think the only way to do it legally and to help the applicant and do it expeditiously is to consider what the applicant is doing here is a request for a rehearing for the purpose of securing an extension. But because it's expired and because the code says he's requesting a rehearing, I don't see any way around it procedurally other than to notice a rehearing for next month. I think you could then complete everything next month, but so that the applicant loses a month, but he gains the fact that he doesn't have to file a brand new application with all the brand new fees. So I think what I would recommend that you do is to deem this as a request for a rehearing for an extension, schedule it for a hearing on the extension request in June with the expectation that, apparently the applicant already has given Noreen or has given the town the things that we thought that you hadn't, but looks like you had. But either way, that's good, because then you'll have it in advance of the hearing, and then next meeting, we could just consider that to be,
Beginning.
Okay.
you can open the hearing and close it. But in the meantime, unfortunately, the expense of the applicant is going to have to, do the, pay for the publication and do the mailings. And then we'll be done next month in all likelihood, unless there's some crazy surprise that nobody's expecting. I think that's the only way to get through it without it opening the door, to every other person that comes in saying, well, I expired. When did you expire?
Yeah.
I expired 12 years ago. Okay, well, I want a hearing. You don't have to do a rehearing. I think that's the idea. So even though this isn't really that situation, if you don't do it by the book, you're just opening the door wide open to future problems with others, not Mr. Rutledge.
Yep.
That's my advice, unfortunately.
It could be worse. All he's doing is,
it's
we're setting, next month, we'll
1
set
month.
a public hearing, and then he's got to pay for the mailings and all that, but it could be a lot worse, so.
Exactly.
Nothing we can do about that. All right, so Noreen, we're going to look into what they,
Double check tomorrow.
yeah, because I have seen nothing.
I don't recall, but there's proof that it was dropped at town hall. So they might have put it in my office and I didn't notice. I have a lot of papers.
All right.
Maybe it's hiding somewhere else, and if you can't find it, let them know, and we'll
Yeah,
get
no, I'll let them
additional
know
copies,
first thing
right?
tomorrow. Did you send it to me in PDF?
Yeah, I sent it both ways.
Okay, I'll verify.
But if needed, we have copies here as well. You can take.
So is there any way you guys can take a look at this and say if it's okay?
You still got to mail it.
Yeah, but, I don't want to come back next time and they said, no, we need it, with the new dates or with the,
At the
No,
as-built?
it's a fair request to take, if you can tell quickly looking at it, oh my God, it's missing this. It might
How many
save another
copies
month.
you have there?
I only have my 2 last ones, so I had made 5 original copies, but there's only 2, these are only my set that I have left.
I have a couple more.
Did you submit photos as well?
Yes, I have folders as well.
So photos,
I mean, did you submit the photos?
no, that was.
Because I think we had a note here that we requested
I just reprinted
photos.
from what we had last time, so I
Right,
brought it in.
I think we requested the last meeting, which was back in April. We requested photos, and I have a note here, 2 surveys as built, and the current survey with stamp.
So I can leave these with you if you.
Well, if they want to see them, we'll give them to them right now.
Yep, I have 4 copies of that. Okay, this is.
That's what you dropped off downstairs? Were they rolled or folded, just so I know what I'm looking for? Okay. Because the rolled go in a different spot, that's why I'm just double checking.
Steve, you have the variance
He
sheet
may.
from the project? Yeah, what they're, what the variances they're looking for?
No. The original.
Oh, you know what, I got the old,
This is what was granted.
I got the old resolution, yeah, I just
Yeah.
did the same thing,
Okay.
right? It was front yard, 18 feet required, 40-foot was, yeah, actually, I might have it backwards there. Lot coverage, it was 25%, max coverage, and 27.8% provided. Proposing 18.
Sorry?
So it's only,
Front yard and lot coverage.
nothing about a side yard?
So I think because it's in the
Corner lot,
corner,
isn't it?
the front yard goes, it gets applied to both sides.
Say that again?
Because it's in the corner, front yard is considered both the front and the other side there. So which is why we needed that 40, it was required 40, but we only had 18. So even though the house is on Sunset Terrace, the front yard was on Sunset and also on Lake Region Boulevard.
Yeah, but how about the house, the back corner of the house, or even the front corner, the back corner of the house sitting by your wood deck where it says pavers? It's almost on the property line, right?
Yes. And that, I mean, that's existing. I think that's how when the house was purchased. It was already on the lot.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be shown in the variance? Wouldn't that be considered, you see what I'm talking about, guys, over there?
Yeah.
Would that be considered a side yard?
Unless it already had a variance that was accepted, but
Side yard or backyard? I think it's saying it's 1.1 feet to the property line? On the
Pavers.
on the dwelling. There's the house up front.
I think that the variance was for the shed, and I think that it's not the 18. Unless it was,
Something's wrong then,
because
because isn't it?
the way the resolution was written is that the accessory building had been shown to be 18.8 feet from the property line
And that's what
on the
these,
Lake Region Boulevard side.
and that's what these pictures are of,
Yeah,
right?
like over here, but on the survey, it's showing it as 21.1.
21, right.
So it's further away. It's better.
Yeah,
it
it's
would be a
just-
disaster if it was the other.
Yeah, it's just, it's weird the way it's written, because it makes it seem like they're talking about, you know what I mean? Where did they come up with that in a
We have the application in front of us for the dwelling itself, just for the shed.
Oh, everything was the shed, and we
Everything
were,
was a shed.
And this is a shed, right? It's not a dwelling? It's not a rental? or
Correct, it's a
anything like
shed.
that? Just a
Very
shed?
nice shed, but it's
Yeah.
a shed.
Okay, just making sure.
we have pictures of the inside?
We did.
Or he had like the basketball court or something in front of it, right? Sport court?
Yeah.
And there was an old shed that you got rid of.
Down and knock down the
Yeah,
whole shit.
I remember,
old
yeah.
one. Yeah, that was a little taller.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Do you have any explanation for how, like, the old resolution said that the shed was 18.8 feet from the property line on Lake Region on that side, but the survey is showing it a little farther away, 21.1 feet. Do you have any explanation for that? Or do you know how that came about?
I think that might have been some field measurements that Ben did, or maybe someone from the board. And then that's.
18.8.
Yeah, the 18, right. So then when we provided the new survey to show the actual,
Actual
measurement to the pins and the property lines.
I guess the, just getting refocus on, what are we looking at and what purpose?
yep.
I guess the real question, the question before this board is just, you granted him a variance for 18.8 feet on that Lake Region Boulevard side, and he's giving you a survey showing that the conditions are 21.1. So he's providing more than what was required. And then on the lot coverage, you granted a variance of allowing him to have 27.8% coverage, where 25% is the max. So, the issue for an extension is just, he's supposed to get the CO within a certain period of time. You gotta keep in mind that you guys are not doing the enforcement work on this.
No.
You're just, does he get an extension of time to get his CO? And that's really all that's before you. It's not necessarily a question of,
This is
would you
not.
granted the same variances
Right.
again? It's just, is he entitled to, I guess it is. The extension request is there a material change in circumstances that would warrant a different result than the one you already gave him? That's usually when somebody's looking, when something's expired, usually you're duty bound to re-grant it unless there's a material change in circumstances. So he wants you to look at the survey now. Is there anything further that you need on the survey in advance of the hearing next time to make that determination? Is there a material change in circumstances that would warrant a different result?
And I'm just having a hard time remembering. This is not the first, is this going to be a short-term rental property, or,
No, nothing like that.
no?
I think this was just his residence, right?
Residence, yeah.
Yeah.
So that shed, so the pictures of the shed, the height 1, 2, you got 10 feet, 2 3/4 inch.
Or there being actual photos.
Yeah, yes.
Like,
yes.
I remember everything.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because that was something in question. I think
Yeah.
the other variance was the height of the building, but you guys requested for pictures with the height so we can see if that actually needed a variance, and it didn't. So I think it was just the lot coverage and the front yard.
That we need more of.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If you're all set, I guess the next question would be, the next procedural step would be to take a motion to set this down for a rehearing. Let me.
Public hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure I'm
Yes, yeah.
understanding
It's-
the notice
yes.
correctly.
To be
The
renoticed.
code says he can seek a rehearing on the decision granted to seek an extended period of time to get the certificate of occupancy or completion. So it's strange verbiage, as I said before, but it's a hearing. The motion would be grant him a hearing. It's really a rehearing on the decision to extend his time to.
Okay, which is way better than
Yeah.
having to
Notice
start
it.
from scratch.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, well, only in a sense, he's not starting from scratch for for fees, but
Yeah.
in essence, what he's doing right now is starting from scratch. This is the first meeting, and
Yeah.
we've got to go all through the same old BS,
well, it's,
right? And
well, you
then-
don't have to look at all the 5 factors, you don't have to do that, but he has to go through the noticing process.
Right.
But beyond that, yeah.
If I could add, I mean, if there's any way not to do that, it is a
No.
long list that we received, and it was, a couple
No.
hundred.
No, I don't think
No,
that's.
that's.
I
if
wish
it's
there
in the-
were.
If it's in the code, then that's that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
beyond
again,
anything
there is a
we-
way, it just would be against the law.
Yeah, there's
You know?
no,
That's the problem, and it would open the door for other people to argue that they got,
in a
you know,
true
well, you
way.
did it for Mr. Rutledge, so
Yeah.
now that's the precedent, now you have to do it for me. That's the problem.
Yeah.
In a true way, it would have been, don't let it expire.
Right, I agree. I think there was just a bit of miscommunication. I don't think, so I was hired to help him get through the ZBA process. Then after that, Mr. Rutledge took over in, securing the CO and stuff like that. And I think there was just I'm not sure if there was some letters that he didn't receive or just time that passed on, that he thought that some of the processes were already done. And I just, I'm back on this for a couple of months now. It hasn't been since it expired.
Yeah.
But no, I understand. It needed to be done in a proper way. It wasn't done. That's why we're here
Yep.
trying to get it all. Now, I guess I have one more question on the as-built. This doesn't have the architectural stamp because when I presented it to Ben, he said everything looked good, but he can't comment on it or, approve it until he has the extension from the ZBA, which is why I haven't finalized the plans. I don't know if that's going to be okay with you guys, or if for that meeting I need to have him stamped and signed by the architect. So the only reason we haven't done that is because if Ben comes back and says, this needs to be done this way or changed, that obviously that would incur another cost on Mr. Rutledge there. But, obviously if you guys are saying that it needs to be stamped and certified, then we would have to go on that way, and then
So the plans you have there are plans or an as-built?
they're as-built. That's what.
As-built.
Of an as-built of what is taking place? Right.
It just doesn't have the seals. This is all.
Of the shed.
Correct. The other ones I have are just. Yeah, I have one.
It's taped. Hey. So, what are you showing me there? What is that, a car?
Are you
On
referring to
your,
the-
on your as-built, first floor plan, so you got your as-built, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep.
Right?
Yes, you're referring to number 2?
Yes, first floor plan.
Yeah, so I believe that's just,
Stuff that's inside the shed. The stuff that's inside of it.
Yeah, what is that? What am I looking at?
looks like a
One
treadmill.
is a treadmill, one is a bike, one is a bench, one is a arcade game, one is an arcade game, stuff like that.
So is this a shed or an accessory building?
Well,
Is it gonna be,
we were calling it a shed, but I believe the term that the building department used was accessory building, so that's what they classified it as.
right, because,
Well, I call it a shed just as well because my house don't have a basement, have a crawl space. So being I don't have a basement, I put everything inside of there and stuff that I keep in the garage, I keep in the garage. So I utilize it as a shed,
so
storage, et cetera.
yeah, so you're calling it a shed, he's
A
calling it
storage.
he's calling it an accessory building.
I never
So
called it a
what's
shed.
there's heating?
No.
So what is it, just power?
That's it. No
Correct.
heat, no water, no nothing.
So one is, it would be the backside, the lower side, the basement. Right, where it says one is your basement foundation plan?
Yeah, that's the cinder block foundation that was made for the structure.
All right, so. All the stuff cleared up of what was given to Noreen, what wasn't given to Noreen, and we'll all have that. So they'll be in front of us, just so I have this right, because I thought I understood it, and the way you described it, explained it to Kevin, kind of screwed me up a little bit,
Yeah.
so.
It's,
So they're gonna be in front of us next month, and so this is where I want to go with it, and tell me if I'm wrong. I would like for them to be in front of us next month. We'll have everything cleared up with Noreen. I also would like to have photos of the inside of this building, of this shed. Because at that point, when we go through everything, all of a sudden next month, I'll make a motion for them to go through another public hearing, where we don't have to go vote on anything we've already voted on. Is that correct, or is that wrong?
you had me until the end. Yeah,
But you said they've got to pay for the mailings, right? So in essence, we're setting up another public hearing for them?
we are. And what we would do is I'm recommending that you take a motion tonight to schedule it for a rehearing on the decision for the purpose of the request for an extension. That's the way the code is set up. So it's whether you call it a hearing or a rehearing
Right.
becomes irrelevant. It's a public hearing on the extension request.
Okay.
That's essentially what it is.
All right. All right, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion for next month, June 24th, to set up a hearing.
We'll call it, the motion would be to schedule a rehearing
Rehearing.
on the decision granted for the
For-
applicant to seek an extended period of time to receive the CO.
Can I get a second?
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll second what council said.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Exactly.
Fine.
Exactly.
here for almost 5 years. More than 5 years. I've never had
No.
Haven't had it.
Definitely a first for me. Jesus Christ. Oh, sir.
So just to ask one more time, do you want those stamped and signed, or?
No.
No.
Okay. I guess they're gonna send it to me.
Well,
Come up with the mail.
like what's,
Of course.
Say what? Oh.
Yeah, so Noreen will help set you up with the mailing list for
I'll get
next
you the
month.
letter and the list.
Okay.
And then next month, we'll go through this again and hopefully close it out.
Yeah.
Appreciate the help, guys.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Right. Print stuff for next month. It's not gonna help for me, but just so
No, we have
that
to
I
do
can
it.
get
It's a
stuff
minute.
that the
It's
board
a-
can have.
August, September, and October, right?
I'll find it in my email. If I have any problems, I have your number, I'll call you tomorrow. I have so many plans down. I will look. If I have a question, I'll call you in the morning. Thank you.
Have a good night.
all right,
Where were we before? Were we 7?
so do we have minutes?
Yeah, I have August, September, and October.
3 sets, yeah.
Yep. So next up is our minutes. I'll come back to the time. We have the May 27th minutes.
Hey, sir.
August.
August
August.
24.
August, September, and October.
I don't see that at all. Everyone go over them?
Yes. Oh, I did.
Anyone have any comments? Seem accurate as can be. Top notch. Fine work.
Oh, man.
Fine work. All right, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve the minutes of what month there?
August.
August.
Almost of this year again.
Yes,
Yeah, all right.
yes. Still on, I'm still on.
I'll second.
You're
All
still
those
on
in
the-
favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, John.
You're still on.
I'm still on Italy time.
Yeah.
All right. Want to discuss what time we can have meetings?
Two more
We got
minutes left.
Got two more,
September and October.
Didn't I just do them all?
You can't do them all.
Oh.
Gotta go one by one.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, all right. So which one did we approve?
August.
All right, September.
Second.
Everyone, no
Yep,
problems?
we're good.
September was even better than August.
I'll second that.
Yes, so all those, I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to approve September.
John already seconded you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right,
October.
October, fine work. And all those in favor?
Aye.
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 All right, how about meeting times, guys?
Whatever you guys want.
Either or, doesn't bother.
Doesn't bother me.
I'm good.
How about you, council? Is that a problem? Is 6 tough for you?
6 gets a little tough.
So,
Yeah.
that'd be fine with me.
Yeah, no, because that's what it says, discuss 6 or
6:30.
6 or 6:30. I'll let it slide, because I thought the minutes were just. How about let's set it for 6:30 then?
Yep.
6:30 good?
6:30.
Zach, work
Sounds
for you?
good.
6:30 works for me.
All righty.
Motion.
We got to make a motion on that? I think it's excessive. I'd like to go ahead and make a motion to set the new time for the ZBA meetings to be at 6:30.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This meeting's adjourned. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
We were going along at a good clip there for a while. What threw it off?